Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 6. This episode was heavy spoilers for this review. And I want to say that right at the stop. I don't think I mentioned that as much as the other reviews, but I really want to preface it with this one because I knew before this episode came out this was going to be a big one. Didn't know what was going to be in it, but I just knew, I guess, critics got screened 5 episodes of the season. Sometimes less, depending on who got screened. But basically every critic, from what I understand, got screened the first 5 episodes for the most part. But James Gunn did not want them to see the last 3 episodes because there's big spoilers in the last 3 episodes. I get the last 2, but it was like, what's this one going to be about, right? So sat down and watched this episode, and it's a pretty normal episode until some big twists happen. Basically, the gang goes into the other dimension to find Peacemaker, bring him home, and there's lots of jokes along the way. The one with Vigilante's mom. It's probably one of my favorite gags in the series. Her calling hardcore a slut and shit. That's hilarious. I don't know. But that's not, he goes to see his other self, and that was funny gags, and then we see that there's probably some more information about that we don't really get answers to, but everybody's trying to find him, and it's a pretty normal episode. And Chris is on his way to realizing he needs to go back to the other dimension, and because I don't know, but one of the big twists that we see in this episode is that I knew this show took place after Superman because they mentioned something about the dimensional rift. So now we know for a fact this season takes place directly after Superman because we see Lex Luthor show up in prison. Him and Flag make a deal. He's going to move into another prison for information on Peacemaker and how to deal with this dimensional rift because obviously Lex has experience with that. And I really like that detail because already this DC universe is so much more connected than the original DC universe that we had. I mean, we had a Superman movie in July. Now we have Peacemaker Season 2 that's dropped in August. And we're getting references directly from that movie that make sense and connect in a way. You're not super lost if you didn't watch that movie, but it helps a lot if you did. So, and Nicholas Hoult is so fucking good as Lex Luthor. Not someone I would ever expect to be Lex Luthor, but man, after seeing Superman as many times as I did, and every time I watch him in this role, I fall in love with it even more. And, yeah, it's such a good season so far with this. But the big twist of the episode is, I forget the chunky girl's name. I'm forgetting her name. I'm sorry. I always forget her name. But her character starts walking down the street, and everyone flips the lid that she's black. And we got the twist that a lot of fans predicted. Essentially, I forget what it's called, but there's a universe in the DC Comics, an alternate universe, where basically the racists won and they took out all the minorities. Now, I wasn't really sure if they were going to go that route, but Peacemaker's dad is like a Ku Klux Klan type dude, right? We knew that from the first season. Massive fucking racist. Peacemaker had to grow up like being raised by that, so he's a little bit, he's had to grow out of that, But, he's been able to grow out of it, but he also grew up in a dimension where that ideology wasn't allowed, and looks like that twist is fucking real. Now I don't know, that's crazy to me. I think it was a little bit rushed at the end of the episode. All of a sudden it's just like, oh, here's the twist, and then it really rushed through it. But man, what a fucking twist, because that seemed like such an extreme direction to go. I mean, there had to be some dark twist to this alternate dimension. I mean, that's kind of the thing with alternate dimension stories. There always is some twist to it. And the twist of this alternate dimension was like, hey, the racists won and took out all the minorities. And what a twist. As M. Night Shyamalan from Robot Chicken would say. But, man. I can't believe this fucking happened. So we'll see what happens next 2 episodes. Wow, that's fucking shit.